He missed it. He missed it. Well, can't say that I'm surprised. Jermall Charlo, in his return fight versus Jose Benavidez, misses weight, not once, but on both tries. Find out how much weight he missed by in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I bring to you some bad news. Jermall Charlo, he ends a 2.5 to 3 year, I think it's 888 day layoff, dry spell of pure inactivity. It was announced his comeback fight was against Jose Benavidez. Now, I gotta add this little sidebar. The side note is Jermall Charlo, I remember seeing, I think it was a tweet or interview, something he put out, and he was almost mad at Showtime saying that they hadn't announced his fight yet. He didn't have a press conference. He didn't have anything to kick off his fight. So as a A-list, a big name fighter, I think he felt snubbed. Now we look at those comments, look back at them in hindsight. That statement didn't really age gracefully because you wanted them to allocate resources to you or, announce your fight and get the star treatment, and you didn't even make weight. You know what I mean? Which reminds me of Adrian Broner. I remember it was like a Zoom call, and Broner was mad when he was with PBC. Adrian Broner was like, man, F Steven Espinoza of Showtime, F Al Heyman. They don't do Floyd stuff like this, meaning Floyd Mayweather. He was like ranting, and he was saying that Floyd Mayweather doesn't get this type of treatment. Why are they doing my press conference on Zoom and like trying to save money, and I'm AB, something to this effect. Long story short, that particular interview, he kind of canceled it. Like he was supposed to ask questions, and he's like, I ain't got nothing else to say. And then he walked off camera and it ended. And I remember, as a media member being tapped into that Adrian Broner press conference, I was like, man, that's pretty unprofessional. They scheduled it, got all the media on the call, and then you're mad because you're having a Zoom call. So you're seeing these fighters with egos, no pun intended, and they have some egos, but then on their part, they're not all the way being professional. Making weight is part of your job. Now let's get to it. Jermall Charlo came in overweight. His first attempt, he weighed 166.4. His opponent, Jose Benavidez, came in under the contracted because it was a catch weight of 163. So you see Jermall's over 3 pounds, pretty much 3 pounds over. Benavidez came under the 163 catch weight amount and at 161.2. So you guys see that on the screen. Now they give you 2 hours to try to make weight, especially if it's a title fight, so you don't just lose your title on the scale. They'll give you an attempt. Somehow, some way, Jermall Charlo came in heavier on the second attempt, and they weighed him in the second time, and he weighed 166.6 as opposed to 166.4. So he went up basically a couple ounces. Terrible look. Here's why. I mean, it's obvious it's a terrible look, but even on the second weight attempt, because I've been in this game for a while, covered many fights, and usually when the fighter has blown weight and they know they're not going to make it, especially since this was a non-title fight because it was supposed to happen at a catch weight anyway of 163, then I've seen in situations where the person's not trying to make weight, not attempting to make weight, can't make weight, or whatever the case is, they don't even go on the scale for the second number because they know they can't make it without hurting themselves. So for me, I feel it was a bit bizarre for Jermall Charlo even to step on the scale a second time because you weren't going to make weight at that point. Or I don't even know if you tried to make weight, if you went up. I can't remember too many times where somebody on the second attempt went up in weight. I mean, even though it's a matter of ounces, I personally can't recall, and I have a good memory, but I don't recall a situation that happened like that where you weighed in the second time 2 hours later and you went up in weight. And again, the times where that may have been the case, the fighters usually know that, and the fighter, as a result, they decide not even to step on the scale. Like, what's the point of me even getting on the scale if I know I'm not going to make it. So instead, now what happens, because I know some people are like, yo, but Ego, what happens next? So what happens next is they're trying to keep the fight alive. Jermall is probably going to have to pay Jose Benavidez some money. And Jose Benavidez, being a warrior, he's down to continue fighting despite Jermall Charlo coming in heavy, right? So that's usually what happens in those scenarios. Similar, Andre Ward fought Edwin Rodriguez, and he came in way overweight. Then the next day, they negotiated a second weight that he can make. He missed that weight, yada, yada, yada. But then the fight still happened. So I have seen that happen where the fighter's still down to fight. It's also happened a couple of times with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He was notorious for missing weight. And, you know, you usually have to give your opponent some cheese in order to make the fight. So now they're getting a better paycheck and they're fighting you at a heavier weight. For me, another reason why this is a terrible look is Jermall Charlo's been on the ring almost 3 years and you come back and you miss weight. So that's a problem. You know, you could say mental health or whatever, but you even had a catch weight, which is higher than your normal weight of 160. So you might as well just move up to 168 if you felt you couldn't make the weight. But I guess in order to try to make this fight, you tried to do it at 163, and for whatever reason, it didn't work. Now, Ego Stradamus strikes again. I said this in a previous video building up to this fight, that Jermall Charlo, it was going to be all eyes on him on the scale. Now, Ego Stradamus strikes again. I was looking at him at fight week, and I said this even before that, but looking at him at fight week, it didn't look like he was on no supreme cut or anything like that. And he has some height to him. It just didn't look like he was on par to make weight, to be honest. And then now we find out that he wasn't, and he missed both attempts. Another reason why this looks bad is because you're already fighting a guy who really started his career at 140 pounds, and that's Jose Benavidez. He has other notable names that he's faced, and Terrence Crawford had a competitive fight with him, stopped him in the 12th and final round. I was at that fight, but that was at 147, and I was in Nebraska for that. And then later he fought Danny Garcia at 154. Danny beat him handedly, and now he's moving up to 160, past 160, 163, and now on fight night, you're going to have a crazy weight advantage, most likely, because again, this is a guy who started off light, you know what I mean? So it just puts more pressure on you, because what if you don't knock him out? Then people are going to look at it like, yo, Terrence Crawford knocked him out back at 47. So if you have this insane height and weight advantage and you're bigger than Crawford was at 47 and you can't stop him, it's going to look bad. And just the fact that you're fighting a smaller guy, or if you struggle with him, because Danny Garcia, in my opinion, didn't really struggle. And then he later did the Creed movie after the Danny Garcia fight or whatever. So for me, I don't really personally like fights like this. Like, not saying I don't like the build up or don't want to see it, but I just feel, you know, you got to give props to Jose Benavidez. He's an underdog, and he has more to gain here than Jermall Charlo has. Because Jermall Charlo, if you beat him, plus you miss weight, you were kind of supposed to beat him. But on the flip side, if you struggle or get hurt or get knocked down, it's going to make you look bad. Think Mario Barrios versus Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, former 2X welterweight champion or whatever, and Mario Barrios, coming off a tank loss, moving up from 140 to 147, badly hurt Keith Thurman. So that's just not going to look well. You know, it's not going to look good. Like, damn, you letting this smaller dude. And if he beats you, I mean, that's just common sense, because Charlo will no longer be undefeated. You know what I mean? And there's big opportunities either with David Benavidez or his brother or Canelo or whatever, Andrade maybe. And if you don't look impressive, then it's going to be harder to sell those particular fights. And this really could get in the way of it. Like, if you can't comfortably beat Jose Benavidez, like almost demo him and demolish him, then I don't know how many people are going to give you a chance to beat his brother, David Benavidez, who's bigger. So my thoughts, drop your thoughts in the comment section. It is what it is, and I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.